Aged 9, I undertook my first ever acting role as Joseph in the school nativity, a performance described in my end-of-year report as world-weary.
Please, team.
Why did they describe it as world-weary?
I think perhaps I thought Joseph would be tired after the long journey with the donkey and the finding that, and perhaps I overdid the tiredness and I didn't get into the wonder, perhaps, to the extent that
Yes,
the
but I
piece
think acting
needed.
coaches would say, you know, you didn't go for the obvious thing of wonder.
Yeah.
Obviously, you had an instinct for this wonderful doubt that you must have felt. You know, how did this happen? You know,
I don't know whether I understood that at that age.
Could you give us, perhaps, as a treat at Christmas, a little taste of the performance?
Yeah.
Just give us a soupçon. I have some stuff here that could help you. Let's see. You can be the three kings.
Oh, lovely.
OK.
Pass them along.
There, pass them along. Now then, imagine it was Joseph and Mary arriving. So why don't, Richard, you could be Mary.
Thank you, that's very kind.
There we are. Would you like to be a shepherd, Sir
I'd very
Tom?
much like to be a shepherd.
All right, you know what to do with it. Here's the baby. Now, remember, you've got to hide baby Jesus. He doesn't appear until later in the script.
Yeah, well, I think that's Mary's
I know
job.
exactly where to hide that.
Yeah.
Something for David. There we are. And then, Tom, would you mind holding the star as well?
Yeah.
No, that's cool.
I'll be Father Christmas as the innkeeper. All right. You haven't arrived yet.
No.
Okay.
What, do you mean in my career?
Oh, no, that's been and gone.
Oh,
So...
I've literally just had a text from Sonia at my NCT class, and they've had the baby. All right. Look at me still.
Richard, I think you're getting the period a little bit wrong. In those days, no text, nothing like that.
I've just seen a star in the sky, and it's Sonia from my NCT group. And they've had the baby.
Oh, that's nice.
A boy.
Can you stop going on about Sonia?
Oh, but...
It's just, I'm sorry, I know you get on with her, but it's been a long journey.
Yeah, but that's because her husband Alan has already painted the nursery, and certain people haven't.
It's
back to Homes Under the Hammer. I'm sorry. I'm very... you know, I found the whole thing very touching. But I haven't got any lines.
So, Tom, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm going to give you a line.
Tom,
I've got some here, so I know.
Oh, all right, you got something. All right, so get ready.
Yeah,
So, the baby's coming.
OK. Look.
And now a shepherd has appeared.
Yeah. I kick off every Christmas morning with a very appropriate to see a baby.
Well, there we are. Now, there's our performance. So, are you willing to believe that David was a world-weary Joseph at 9 years old?
Yes, definite for me.
True?
Yeah, he would have been a clever boy at 9 years old. They would have asked him to be Joseph because he's got the gift of the gab.
And at 9, he did have a beard. It was harder for Richard to get the part of Mary because he was that height at 9.
But, like, it's impossible for you to get the part of one of the wise men.
What are you going to say?
We will say it is a truth.
A truth. You're saying truth. David, truth or lie?
And it is a lie.
Oh. It was a lie. It is David.
As a child, I was scared of the sun.
What age?
I think this would probably be when I was 4, 5, 6, 7, that sort of age. When I was 4,567. I was still in my infancy as a god.
What was it about the sun that you found frightening?
It was looking at it.
Oh, yeah. Did you just go out at night or something? You never went out during the day?
No, I did go out during the day, but I would sort of obsessively keep my eyes towards the ground.
Right.
The problem was that someone used the phrase, if you look at the sun, you will go blind.
Funny enough, exactly the same advice for me as well, but it was page 3 of the Sun. So you would still go out, but you would avoid anyway.
And then, you know, occasionally you sort of turn your head and the sun goes through your vision, and it can create that slight, you know, when you blink, you can still see.
And you thought that was burning.
And I thought, right, well, yeah, what's that? Is that the beginning of the great eternal darkness?
Yeah.
You know,
you really had a happy childhood, didn't you? Then? We were all then on our rally grifters, and you were thinking about the eternal darkness.
Did anything else scare you as a child?
Oh, yes, most things.
What else scared you?
Well, the trouble is that some children are timorous and some children are reckless.
Yeah, and Sagittarius.
And in order... But in order to save the lives of reckless children, warnings are calibrated for their safety, the result of which is that the timorous live in a state of perpetual terror. What I needed to be told is, you know what, most days you won't die, it's fine. I wasn't ever going to tear across a 3-lane motorway.
Right.
You know, the very existence of a 3-lane motorway in the same postcode as me made me not want to leave the house.
And presumably you would wait for about 3 weeks before swimming after a meal.
No, and having an ice cream in the afternoon and then thinking, right, well, I should probably not swim for the rest of the holiday. And then someone says, when I was an adult, you don't have to wait at all. It's all a myth. You can swim and eat. Did you
While looking into the sun.
So what are we thinking?
Adam?
I'm thinking true fact.
I'm going truth.
So you're saying it's the truth?
Yeah.
Go on, we'll say it's true.
You're going to say that it's true. OK. David, truth or lie?
It is true.
Yes, it's true. As a child, David was scared of the sun.
I can write so well with my right foot that to save time writing Christmas cards, I simultaneously write one card with my hand and one card with my foot.
David's team.
I think we just want to have a demonstration. So can you write one card to Rob and one to me?
All right.
I can think of another time saver, actually, because you can actually get cards where they've already printed Happy Christmas on them for you.
And that's the kind of emotionless man you are. You get them printed when it says, sorry to hear that someone's died, and he's got David. Now,
couple of cards.
Yes, so...
Couple of pens.
Yeah, no, obviously it's going to be difficult because my sofa's not as high as this at home, so how the hell do you expect me to sit on there and reach the floor?
Yeah. Why don't you just use Rob's chair?
And then use it on the floor. Good idea. Can I use your chair, Rob?
Yeah, of course.
It'd be a nice treat for you sitting on the big high stool. So, there you go. Hang on, I'll help you up. Just, So we get here. So this is me at home, obviously, sat on my own.
I feel like a song now.
At the same time now for us.
Can I just say at school?
Have you ever had one of those days? See you the same time next week. I'm Val Doonican. Goodbye. Set the scene for us, Lee. It's the run-up to Christmas.
It's the run-up to Christmas.
You're at home.
We've left it a bit late.
Yeah.
My wife's saying, oh, we haven't done the Christmas cards again, sweetheart. And I say, fear not, love, because you remember my party trick. If I help you, we'll do it 3 times as quick. Because the 3 of us, me, her, and the foot. So, the pen, the red pen for now, will go into the foot. Thus, OK? So that card will go on the floor there.
yes.
Like that. And then, wait, Josh, look. And then the other one goes in the hand there. And I think you'll agree, ladies and gentlemen, I have demonstrated it perfectly. I mean, what else is there to do?
Well, it would be lovely. Why don't you try and
We're
write
running out of
me?
time, Rob. I think we should wrap it up now.
Why don't you try and write me?
Time, Rob. We're running out of time.
I think you could write...
That's the buzzer. That's the end of the game.
Have I moved to Scotland? Why don't you write me with that one a lovely Christmas message and a lovely one for David?
So, here we go.
Still, well, I can see why this is a tremendous time saver.
Off you go, start corresponding.
Now.
Well done. Hey! Well done.
He's doing it. He is doing it. And this one, come on. Oh, the kisses, good.
Oh, happy Christmas.
All right.
Alrighty.
Can I have a look? This is yours, David. It's a little. If you received that in the post, you'd think someone wanted to kill you, wouldn't you?
I think we're going to go true.
You're going to. So, are you saying it is the truth, or are you saying it is a lie?
That's a lie.
It's a lie. It is a lie.
So, Lee, was it the truth, or might it have been a lie?
It was, in fact, a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. Lee doesn't use his hands and feet to write 2 Christmas cards at the same time.
I once found my postman's finger.
OK. Where?
On the floor in my hallway.
On the floor in your hallway?
Well, he'd
Been sliced off by the letterbox.
Sliced off by the letterbox.
He was posting a letter through my letterbox on a Saturday morning. And...
That doesn't sound very likely.
And we suddenly saw a postman up against the window with a finger missing. He was banging on the window, screaming for help. And when we went to answer the door, the finger was just there. It was completely off.
From where? From halfway?
From his hand.
No, from his hand. I mean, so whereabouts on the finger?
From the top knuckle.
You can stick it back on, can't you, and tape it and things like that.
Yeah,
before the hospital comes along, the doctor.
We put it in ice. And he took it to the hospital with him. And they stitched it back on.
And did it still move?
I don't know. I've not seen him since.
Had you previously noticed quite how vicious the action on your letterbox was?
Well, I've never posted a letter in my own letterbox.
Oh, you've had to pull a bulky one through. We all have. And I have. Well, what I bet happened is it came down on him and he recoiled in terror. Something that I'm sure Brian could act with great... Imagine, Brian, you put your finger in, you got it caught. How would you recoil?
How do you go? Ah! Something like that.
Yes, yes. That sort of thing, yes.
Was it harrowing? Like, I'd find
For him,
that...
yeah.
For him.
It must have been quite harrowing for you.
How old were you?
Yeah.
I was about 10.
And who phoned 999 and say,
Not the postman.
I've got the postman's finger?
I mean, let's be practical. You could use your other hand.
So, David, what do you think?
Do you think it's true?
I don't. I think it would have been more kind of affecting. I think Kevin's a bit laissez-faire with something that would have maybe stuck...
He wouldn't be able to tell a story like this yet.
Because it'd be so traumatic.
Yeah. And in fact, whenever anyone beckoned to him, he'd scream.
Do you beckon to someone, or do you beckon someone?
Probably beckon. You're right, I've wasted a preposition.
So what do you say, truth or lie?
Yeah. I don't want it to be true, because if it is true for Kevin's postman, it could be true for ours, because...
Well, suddenly it explains all those fingers on the doormat.
Yeah.
I think it's not true. I think the ice is too convenient and it... I don't know what I mean by that.
We're going to say it's not true.
So it's a lie, then?
Yeah.
Kevin Bishop, The truth or a lie?
It is, in fact, true.
Once on Christmas Day, I was forced to hitchhike my way home and was picked up by 4 different drivers.
Please do.
Where were you going from and to?
I was going from London down to Hastings.
How old are you?
I was about 17 and a half.
And because nothing was running on Christmas Day, or you were skint?
No, what happened was I was meant to go home on Christmas Eve, but I missed the last train.
So you started your journey in London?
I did.
And how long did it take to get picked up? For the first bit?
Not long, actually. 10 minutes-ish.
And he said...
Would you like to come back and have Christmas lunch with me? I'm very lonely.
Seriously, he said that?
Yeah.
What sort of a man was he?
He was a gay man in his mid-70s.
How far did you go with him? No. I mean, how far on your journey did you go?
I think he drove me about 10 miles,
right.
something like that.
So that's the first person.
Yeah.
And then, do you remember the second one?
A woman.
Yes.
Who picked me up round about the Eltham area, I think.
I like a euphemism early on in the show. We've all been picked up in the Eltham area, haven't we?
Actually, you're more accurate than you realise. She actually did make a pass at me.
This is 2 now?
Well, she said, where do you want to go? And I said, down to the coast, please.
Oh, my God. Did she go down to the coast?
Well, what she actually did was she put her arm round my neck and tried to kiss me.
She did. What had led her to believe that this was a possibility? What had happened?
The mistletoe on the wing mirror.
Yeah, she tried to kiss me. I opened the door and got out of the car and ran away.
Ah, so that explains the second story. Right,
Okay.
now get to the third one.
The third guy was deaf.
I'll tell you what, if this turns out to be a lie, you deserve a medal for making this as least plausible as possible en route to the story. But, OK, so he's deaf.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I had to write down where I wanted to go.
And you said Hastings on the card?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He didn't say anything. He just started driving.
Oh, my
That's a bit
God.
menacing, isn't it?
He didn't look scary.
And who was the fourth?
The fourth was a farmer. He said that he was fed up with his family, so he took me all the way to Hastings.
So he's having a bad day on Christmas Day and decides he'd rather drive you to Hastings.
Well, he said that he told his wife he was going out for a paper. That's the end, really, because he dropped me off where I was going.
Did you invite the man in for a mince pie or something? You know?
No.
You didn't even invite him in?
No. Do you think that's a bit weird? I don't.
I think it's the weirdest bit of the story. He's given you a lift all the way to Hastings on Christmas Day. He's the only one who hasn't made a sexual pass at you. He's been entirely honourable. Just give him a little bit of a mince pie and some brandy butter.
So what do you think? There's a lot of detail in there.
I think it's not true.
Based on?
I think it's got too many characters, like a Tarantino film.
The bit I'm doubting is that wouldn't you just write on a piece of paper Hastings and hope someone's going to Hastings rather than anyone going sort of that way and I'll just keep getting out and getting out?
Have you ever hitchhiked? You sound very, very idealistic about it all. Well, I'm not getting in a car until I go into Hastings. I don't care what day of the year it is. Hastings, no.
Paul does have a point. That's not how it works. You just go a little bit, and then maybe... And that's part of the fun of hitchhiking. It's who you meet.
Don't try and pretend to me you've ever hitchhiked. I know you well enough. Getting at the back of a Mercedes once a week is not hitchhiking.
I've seen it in films, though.
So Ray thinks it's true.
It's got to be true.
OK.
Too wacky to be made up.
So you think they're too wacky to be made up, you think they're too wacky to be true?
Yeah, I think she enjoyed making them up.
So what's it going to be, then, Lee?
OK, well, we'll say... be it on your head, Ray, but we'll say it's the truth.
Saying it's the truth. OK, Joe Brand. Truth or lie?
It is true.
Yeah, it was true. Joe did have to hitchhike home on Christmas Day and was picked up by 4 different drivers. It is David.
As a child, I was scared of the sun.
What age?
I think this would probably be when I was 4, 5, 6, 7, that sort of age. When I was 4,567. I was still in my infancy as a god.
What was it about the sun that you found frightening?
It was looking at it.
Oh, yeah.
Did you just go out at night or something? You never went out during the day?
No, I did go out during the day, but I would sort of obsessively keep my eyes towards the ground.
Right.
The problem was that someone used the phrase, if you look at the sun, you will go blind.
Funny enough, exactly the same advice for me as well, but it was page 3 of The Sun. So you would still go out, but you would avoid it anyway.
And then, occasionally you sort of turn your head and the sun goes through your vision, and it can create that slight, when you blink, you can still see.
And you thought that was burning.
And I thought, right, well, yeah, what's that? Is that the beginning of the great eternal darkness?
Yeah. You really had a happy childhood, didn't you? Then?
We were all then on our rally grifters, and you were thinking about the eternal darkness.
Did anything else scare you as a child?
Oh, yes, most things.
What else scared you?
Well, the trouble is that some children are timorous and some children are reckless.
Yeah, and Sagittarius.
And in order... But in order to save the lives of reckless children, warnings are calibrated for their safety, the result of which is that the timorous live in a state of perpetual terror. What I needed to be told is, most days you won't die, it's fine. I wasn't ever going to tear across a 3-lane motorway.
Right.
The very existence of a 3-lane motorway in the same postcode as me made me not want to leave the house.
And presumably you would wait for about 3 weeks before swimming after a meal.
No, and having an ice cream in the afternoon and then thinking, right, well, I should probably not swim for the rest of the holiday. And then someone says, when I was an adult, you don't have to wait at all. It's all a myth. You can swim and eat.
Did you... While looking into the sun.
So what are we thinking?
Adam?
I'm thinking true fact.
I'm going truth.
So you're saying it's the truth?
Yeah.
Go on, we'll say it's true.
You're going to say that it's true. OK. David, truth or lie?
It is true.
It's a whole woman's story.
Yes, it's true. As a child, David was scared of the sun.
My full name is Christmas Kamara.
Christmas Kamara. David's team.
Why? Because I was born on Christmas Day.
Jesus was born on Christmas Day. His name's not Christmas. You were named Christmas because you were born on Christmas Day. That's...
Yes, what happened is my mum was having me at the time.
It checks out so far.
And my dad was just about to say Happy Christmas to my brother when I popped out.
But
my mum...
You weren't expected, though, right?
Well,
so your dad was saying, OK, this is mid-labour, time to get some greetings in to other family members. OK, and then...
Then all of a sudden I popped out and my mum thought I've heard the name Christmas, so she went...
Well, that is the rule, isn't it? That the first noise that the father makes when a baby comes out just is the name, isn't it?
Well, my brother was born on St George's Day, mate. April the 23rd, is it? And...
He's called Red Cross.
Yeah. He's called George.
And there's your sister, Pancake Tuesday. Have you got any middle names, Christmas?
Yes, I have.
What are they?
My dad used to be in the Navy, so it was going to be Christmas Captain Cook Kamara, but they decided to call me Christmas Columbus Kamara.
Why Columbus?
Because my dad was in the Navy.
Yeah, was he in the Spanish Navy in the late 15th century?
He was always his hero when he was a kid.
Right.
OK, so what are you thinking, David?
Well, what do you think, Tom?
I'm still thinking about it.
Richard?
I'm really waiting on Tom's verdict, I have to say.
David, what about you?
I don't believe it.
No, I don't either.
I think it'd be very nice, you know, on the Christmas special to have someone whose name was Christmas, but...
And it saves us from booking Noel Edmonds.
I think... But I just don't think... I don't think Christmas is really a name.
All right, so you're saying it's a lie?
Yeah.
OK. Christmas. Truth or lie?
It's a lie.
Yes, it's a lie.
I find it incredibly irritating when other people fiddle with my jigsaws.
Please, team.
What was the last jigsaw you did?
It was a picture of the city centre in Oxford.
How many pieces was it?
1,000.
1,000?
What's your jigsaw etiquette?
My etiquette?
Well, when I say etiquette, I mean if you're doing a big jigsaw, you have to do it on something so that it doesn't upset everybody else's life. So what do you do it on?
My grandfather's coffin. Because we've all stopped hoping that he's ever going to come out. On a card table.
On a card table?
Oh, OK.
You have a card table?
That's nearly right.
And you start with the outside. You do the whole perimeter.
Yeah.
Where do you go then?
Then I go for recognisable objects in the scene.
So which particular recognisable bits are you looking for, then?
Well, there's a building in the middle with a sort of dome and a spike. I'm an expert in architecture. So there was that thing, and there was several people wandering around, you know, like someone on a bicycle.
Whoa. He's saying, you know, specific. You're looking for specific things.
Yeah.
A person can go anywhere in the jigsaw.
No,
Yes,
they can't. They can only go where they go.
I will say.
You can't go out, put a person... I'm going to put him up there.
When you do a jigsaw, Lee...
Yeah. I don't, David, because I've got a life, but carry on.
Yeah. No, fair enough. No. I was going to say, do you use scissors? Because that's a...
You know I'm not
That's
allowed.
a
Scissors!
So generally, 1,000-piece jigsaw, you're coming back to it now and again,
Yeah.
work commitments permitting. How long does it take?
Let's say 3 months.
OK, 3
All right,
months?
let's say it. 3 months.
3 months? It's a 1,000-piece jigsaw,
Yeah.
333 pieces a month.
Excessive.
So he's doing about 90 pieces a week. So he's doing about 15 pieces a day, right? 15 pieces a day is borderline, you need help.
I don't need help, and I don't like it when people help.
That's the point.
So, Lee, what's it going to be?
Alex?
Well, if he was into jigsaws properly and you didn't want a fiddler, you put cling film on it.
What? You're even weirder than me. Wouldn't the cling film sort of stick to the pieces, and then so when you pick the cling
No.
film up, it would sort of undo
What you do,
weeks
right?
and months of work?
No.
That's horrible,
Because you
isn't it?
buy a massive tray,
Yeah.
you do it on the tray. Not only can you carry it around if you need to dust, but also the cling film wraps underneath.
You've watched far too many features on the one show, haven't you? This week we're talking about tricks for jigsaws. You probably think it's just the four corners you have to know, but no, get your cling film ready, we'll tell you afterwards. John, do you think it's...
Well, I can see. I think David's a contemplative type of person, you know, and jigsaw puzzles kind of allow you that loose space to be, to be a ruminative. It takes you to a ruminative place that you wouldn't otherwise enter in the normal run of events.
But just to clarify, is it true or false?
True.
Go true.
OK.
You're going to say true? OK. David, truth or lie?
It is true.
On the first day of my holiday, I lost my glasses, so I was forced to read an entire book through a set of binoculars I found in the villa.
I've been here all day and I haven't seen you wear glasses.
Well, that's because I wear contact lenses.
Why didn't you wear contact lenses?
Because I didn't take them on that particular holiday.
What was the book?
The book? Wow. The Kipper.
By?
Brian Fish.
A book called The Kipper by Brian Fish. I haven't read it or heard of it. What's the genre of this book?
It's a thriller.
Right.
The Kipper was the code name for a spy.
Where were you on holiday?
I was actually in Malaysia.
What part of Malaysia?
Coconut Island.
What?
What make with binoculars?
I think you'll find I didn't have my glasses. How do I know that? I mean, don't get me wrong. I tried to look through my binoculars to find out, and I even looked into the mirror, but it just wasn't working out, the whole thing. I was like... Yes, because the book had to be a long way away from me.
Sorry, it had to be a long way away from you.
Well, otherwise, it's so close to you. When you get to the thrilling bit, it's too scary. They got killed! So I have to...
How did you set it up?
The book was at the other end of the... We had a little pool in the villa, and it's on the other end of the pool, and I would sit there like that. And then...
How would you turn the pages?
I'd put it down there, and then I'd get up and I'd walk, turn the page, crease it, and back round again.
So, you got there and you'd forgotten your glasses?
Correct.
How did you manage to get there without realising?
Because I forgot them. I left them somewhere en route.
Right. But where?
I put them down, like this, in the taxi. I stepped out for a second. I was literally rubbing my eyes like that. The taxi's gone. I know. Unbelievable. It's the exact word I was thinking of.
You hadn't arrived at your destination.
I took the glasses off for a second, like that.
To put them down in the taxi.
But there's a reason I put them down for a second.
Yeah.
Put them down. They're my proper glasses.
Yeah.
To put on my sunglasses when I get out of the car. The sunglasses are prescription.
Yeah.
I step out the car,
Yeah.
he drives off, I've left the glasses in the back, I can now see perfectly clearly through the sunglasses. I know what you're going to ask me, so I'll just get to that point. During the holiday, I then lost the sunglasses.
Another taxi?
No, I was in the sea.
You were in the sea and you put them on a dolphin?
I was in the sea. Well, I didn't know it was a dolphin. I thought it was one of those glasses rests. You know, no, I just put them down. Oh, I didn't put them down. I put them on. And then I went into the sea, had a little swim, and then a big wave came like that and went... like that. That's not the bit that knocked my glasses off, though. I just up and went, wow, look at that wave. And then I lost it. Yeah. I'm going to have to spend the next... whatever it was, 2 weeks without my sunglasses. So I just stayed...
Reading a book from one end of a pool to another.
This is it.
With your
How big a book?
It was awful. Everything was like that. Even the foreplay. I said, go over there so I can have a good look. That's very pleasant, thank you. And then I'd walk over. And she'd say, do I look sexy in this? I'd go, hang on.
So, what are you thinking?
Look, I wear glasses. You are so protective of your glasses.
There are various implausible moments in this story. I would say the losing of sunglasses in the sea is not the most implausible. I would say it is the image of Lee sitting at one end of a swimming pool with his binoculars and a book propped up at the other end of the swimming pool. A swimming pool he has to walk round in order to turn the page.
So, you're saying it's a lie?
Well, I would say it was a lie.
I think we're unanimous on that.
All right. So, Lee, truth or lie?
It is, in fact... Where's the button? Tell me when I'm close. Lie!
On a camping trip, I won an award for having the tidiest tent, even though I'd wet my sleeping bag.
These teeth.
True. Was this as a child or was this recently?
No, I was a child.
How old were you?
I guess I was about 6 or 7.
And was it the Scouts?
No.
What was it?
It was the Woodcraft Folk.
What? The Woodcraft Folk? What kind of organisation is that?
It's like the Scouts.
Is it literally about going away to craft wood, to make things out of wood? Is it more about just generally lighting fires and...
It's woodcraft in a more general sense.
What exactly is woodcraft in a general sense?
It's, well, you know...
How do we know, John? 'Cause I don't think you know.
It's... wood...
Do you want to change the name of the organisation?
That's what they say at every meeting of the Woodcraft.
So the Woodcraft folk, they head off into the wood together, they find a clearing, they set up camp, and what sort of things do they do?
We might spot birds, we might rub trees.
Do you ever spot trees and rub birds?
Only if you don't want to get your tree rubbing and bird spotting badges.
So there are badges?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there were badges.
What badges do you have? Did you...
Well, first badge would be sewing badge, obviously. Otherwise, all subsequent badges would fall off. Then...
Bird spotting.
Bird spotting badge.
Tree rubbing.
Tree rubbing.
Tree rubbing was just to chill out. It can't all be about getting badges.
All right, how many people were in the competition of tidiest tent?
15?
Did he just suddenly go back to childhood?
15.
That's more like it. So, 15 kids, all trying to have the tidiest tent.
Well, not exclusively, but we stayed in tents, and to instil an atmosphere of tidiness, every morning there would be tent checks.
Tent checks.
And whoever's tent was the tidiest would be
How many
rewarded.
boys per tent?
Not just boys. Boys and
Whoa,
girls.
hang on a minute. These were mixed tents.
I shared a tent with my sister, who was also in the Woodcraft Folk.
How did the other Woodcraft folk react to it?
They never found out.
Did your sister find out?
Yeah. She was aware, yes. She was one of the first to be aware.
Do you think they gave you the prize to sort of patronise you, because they felt sorry for you?
A prize is a prize.
So other than the swampy conditions, it was very nice and very tidy.
Yes, the tent was very tidy because everything was outside drying off.
What do you think, Lee? Is he telling the truth?
I don't know. What do we think, Moira?
I think it's true.
You do? Yeah. Why do you think it's true?
He looks like a bedwetter.
Well, I know that.
The worst thing is, when you say it, it sounds like news.
Joe?
I think it's probably true,
You're
yeah.
putting around to true as well. We'll say true, then.
He's going to say true. OK. John, truth or lie?
Why would I admit on telly to such a true...
Yes, it's true. John did win an award for the tidiest tent, even though he'd wet his sleeping bag.
A possession.
Ah, there'll be a box under your desk.
There is.
You, put the object that's in the box on the desk first and then read the card, please.
This is the bottle of hand gel I used to wash my hands before I handle my main bottle of hand gel.
David's team. I think we can see the reasoning behind that. So explain your process.
In this day and age, you have to be very conscious of germs. And I meet a lot of people and have to shake their hands, and some of them, you know,
are diseased.
Potentially a bit unsavoury. So I will have a bottle of hand gel, cleanse my hands, then I can get the other bottle of hand gel now, the outside of which...
So the second bottle remains pure the whole time?
Very pure.
Yeah.
But if you take the bottle in the hand you didn't shake the person's hand with, so that hand is clean, all you need to do is just pour it on both hands, you'll have no problem.
Yeah, well, you make it sound so easy.
I tell you how all this started, and I think there is some sort
It
of
started when you
trauma.
picked up that box and opened it.
There is some sort of trauma that I've got, and it was from a time being in a gent's toilet. Don't. And what happened was, I have trouble reaching things in the toilets, you see, and one occasion I went...
What are you trying to reach for?
Well, no.
No wonder you need this stuff.
This is how it developed. I squirted some of this cream soap on, right, on the wall. But it was only then I realised I couldn't reach the tap. From that moment on, I pack a couple of bottles of hand gel.
How soon after meeting us, we were all here about tea time today, weren't we? How soon after you came in with a lovely, great to see you again, everyone was shaking hands. How soon after that did you scurry away, reach into your pockets and furiously... What's the gap?
Well, it's just whenever I would get a quiet opportunity to...
I don't think this is the truth, because I've had several interactions with work, Davis, and I don't think that this is something I would have missed.
He certainly didn't do it immediately after.
If he does it, he's subtle.
You have to be, don't you? I mean, I can't be seen to be going, oh, hello. Because that's rude, isn't it, then?
And it's not just hello, it's hello,
You know how you can do it. You know, if I'm sitting at a table and I meet somebody, I can do it down here.
That's worse. That's definitely worse.
OK, it's time to take a guess. What are you going to say?
It's a lie.
It's a lie?
Lie.
It's a lie. It's a lie.
Saying it's a lie. Warwick, was it the truth or was it a lie?
It was a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. That isn't the hand gel that Warwick uses before his main bottle of hand gel.
Because I can never remember the phonetic alphabet, I have invented one of my own, based on things I can see from my bedroom window. Now, I never forget it.
Now, in case there are people watching, perhaps, who don't know what the phonetic alphabet is...
Can I just say, I'm one of them?
It's, you know, it's kind of Alpha, Bravo, Charlie...
Why is that called the phonetic alphabet? There's nothing phonetic about it.
Just do us a favour, lads, keep discussing it, gives me more thinking time.
So, Lee...
Yes?
Take us through it.
Well, where would you like me to start? A for apple tree. And to the point where I will do this on the phone when they say, what's your postcode? I will use these.
Well, carry on.
B, this is the one that can get confusing. B for bird, because obviously the bird isn't always there, but you can always hear or sense a bird. So B for bird.
Yeah.
You can always
C for
sense
cat.
a bird.
D for cat, there's always a cat. I think I know why there's no birds. D, I think I know where I'm going with this. I'm surprised the cat's still there. I really am.
Do you sometimes find there's no C when there's a D?
Often I can say D, there'll definitely be no C and B ever. You know.
We don't need it all. What's H?
H will be for hospital.
What's V?
V is for a word I'm not allowed to say on national television. But all I will say is the next door neighbour, she likes to sunbathe naked. Unless, this is a weird one, can't do C and V at the same time because she's got an allergy to cats.
R.
Oh, no, it's a shame, innit?
R.
Oh, I see.
What's the name of the hospital?
What?
What?
H. You said H for hospital.
All I can see is the A and E sign, or as I call it, Apple Tree and Edna. Take me to Apple Tree and Edna.
So you don't know the name of your
not
nearest
interested.
hospital?
Not interested. I don't need to know the name of it.
I'm afraid at that point, and only at that point, I cease to believe you. What otherwise seemed like
I don't know the name of
system.
it, but I can certainly spell hospital for you.
For hospital! For hospital! You said it's for hospital!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. That was it. Even though I say so myself, that was a bad mistake.
So what are your team thinking?
I don't believe it at all.
What about you, Nick?
See, I think that he does do this, and he's made it a nice, lovely story to throw us. But I think that Lee actually does, when he can't think of the real-life ones, will say Edna.
Just
or
to be
whatever.
clear, perhaps the most fascinating moment of the whole evening, Nick, you think that's true?
It's true.
OK, it's time to decide.
A lie.
Lie. OK, you say it's a lie. Well, here we go. Lee, is it true or is it a lie?
You have to actually ask.
Yes, it was all a lie. Lee hasn't invented his own phonetic alphabet.
After an incident last year, I have a fear that some of my neighbours think I hunt ducklings.
David's team. What was the incident?
Hang on. Got it. So, I live by a river.
Yeah.
That much is true.
We know it's true because we both enjoyed an evening, one of his evenings at his house.
We have indeed.
Do you remember it, David, don't you? Because you and Rob both left, and then 10 minutes later, you snuck back, didn't you? He's gone. And I remember as David drove off going, I'll give you a lift, David! 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 So, I live by the river.
Yeah.
And there was a duckling in the front of our house. Let's call it the driveway.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I didn't want to say driveway because I start making them all showbiz that I've got a car. Anyway, so there's the duckling,
Which
right?
part of the drive? Was it down by the gate, so where it sweeps up around the lawn?
I don't know, I'd got over the moat, to be honest with you. Actually, a duckling would be quite good at going through. I reckon I know how, as you're thinking about it.
So this duckling on its own.
Yeah, so
is
there's a
on
duckling.
on the drive.
He's on the driveway.
Yeah.
This was the yellow, fluffy variety.
Right.
And so I decided I must catch the duckling and try and put it back in the water.
Yeah,
in the river.
Why?
You mean, why have I got a heart, David?
Yeah.
Why did you bother about this non-human thing? Why did you eat it?
So, yeah, no,
Why
duck
did
is...
you baste it, fry it and shove it in your mouth?
Are you saying that
I didn't get... Sorry, David.
Yeah, I mean, you've had enough time to invent anything.
Right.
So you see the duckling on the drive.
Yes.
You pick up. What is this thing that you're picking up?
This is. I have a big net in my house.
Right.
Yeah. And so I see this duck and I catch it and I scoop it up. So I've now got a duck in the net.
You're right.
And my plan was to look round for lots of baby ducklings and a sort of adult-sized duck going. That was my plan.
Right.
You did say the duckling was yellow.
Did I?
Yeah, what colour are the ducks on the river?
Uh-oh.
What?
Can we go into conference for a moment?
Because the ducks on the river are almost certainly mallards.
Yes?
And their ducklings are not yellow.
Yeah, but this wasn't complete. This wasn't a pure.
I don't
mallard.
care. Wrong. Now, one of the most important things not to do with ducklings when you find them in the spring is to touch them or handle them at all. Because the mother will reject them.
Yes.
I didn't handle him, I netted him. Do you know why I didn't handle him? Because the mother would have rejected it.
So how far have you walked
A long
at this
way,
point?
because I couldn't find any ducks and any ducklings. So I'm now walking up, and I have noticed that people have passed me, and I've given them the, all right, and they've gone, all right. It dawns on me after half a mile, they're going, I think this stretch of the river, which is famous for fishing, I think that weirdo has been catching ducklings. They think I've scooped one out, because it's a proper big fishing net I've got. So I decided to go home, ring up the RSPCB.
RSPCD.
B, I said.
D. P.
There's the RSPB.
Oh, sorry.
RSPB, you idiot.
Or the RSPCA.
You thought it was B, you weirdo! Preventing cruelty to ducklings. ducklings. That's a very niche market. Oh, no, we're only goslings.
So what do you think, David? Is he telling the truth?
I should point out that we did find out that it was goose.
So it was a bright yellow gosling.
It was bright yellow, and I thought it was a duckling, and it turned out to be
Goslings
a
are bright yellow.
Oh. Are they?
OK, what do you think?
The thing is, it's so heavily embroidered, this story.
Yeah.
But I think it's substantially true.
Alan?
Well, throughout the story, I thought it was a complete nonsense.
Yes, I did throughout, but then there was something about him saying they came back and they said actually it was a baby goose, and it having been yellow, that's tipped me into thinking it might be true. I'm going to say true.
True?
Yeah.
OK. Lee, truth or lie?
It is, in fact, true.
The first time Westlife sang on Top of the Pops, Louis Walsh made sure we stood up from our stools at the right time by hiding in the crowd and waving a banana above his head.
Lee's team.
What song were you singing?
It was our first #1.
Which was?
Swear It Again.
Swear It Again.
Swear It Again. I know it. I'm
sure you do.
So you're on a stool. I'm imagining you're on a stool, so you're doing a ballad.
Yes. All the Westlife songs are ballads, Lee.
Why did he not say to you, when you get to a key word in the song, all stand up? Why can he not trust you to do that?
Don't you know that songs are extremely repetitive?
Oh, I know yours. No, I'm sorry.
That's what makes them work.
I'm joking.
They were moving.
I know, I'm a massive Westlife.
gorgeous.
I'm not in any way saying I wasn't. I'm simply saying, why couldn't you stand up at the key word to the song? Why couldn't he say to you, oh, I see what you mean, because you're saying the same words over and over again?
It's like there's a certain point that he wanted us to do it, but like I think the problem when it was for us is like, well, you know, you're so nervous. You're on Top of the Pops for the first time, and we were #1.
In top of the Pops world,
yeah,
I remember they always had really trendy people dancing to make the whole thing look sort of cool.
Yeah.
Did Louis look? Was he dressed trendily? Did he fit in with the audience? Was he dancing?
He was like behind the camera.
He was behind. He wouldn't be in front of the camera waving a banana, would he?
I thought he was in front of the camera waving a banana.
No.
I'm sorry, he wasn't doing that.
Because
he wasn't. He'd
if
never do
everyone
that.
can see the cue, you might as well shout, "Get off your stool!" That would do the same thing.
But how did he cover it in case you were looking in the camera rather than looking behind the cameras?
No, you can see a banana.
You can see a banana. Look out to the back of the crowd there, Bob. If someone was to hold up a banana, do you think you'd see it?
Hold it, there we are.
Somebody is.
Somebody is doing it.
Oh my God!
That is bizarre.
Why don't we try and recreate the moment?
I agree.
Okay? So here's what would happen. The three of you would go out front. Not yet.
No! Out front.
And you'd lean.
I'm not wearing any trousers.
And you'd lean on the desk. And when I wave my banana in the air, you three will stand up together.
Yay!
One for you.
Thank you.
One for you. Enjoy it, David. Round to the front.
Come on, lads. I think I should be in the middle.
Oh, you want
yeah,
to be
no,
in the
by
middle?
all means. Please, I will cede the captaincy for the...
I did spend 14 years on the side, you know, at least I should be in the middle now.
Are you going to wave the banana?
I tell you what, the girl who's got the banana can wave the banana. OK, so here they are, a newly formed Westlife with You Raise Me Up.
Watch out for the banana.
Yeah, I am doing.
You raise me
Well done, yeah. Well done. Oh, that was beautiful. Beautiful. Well, Lee, what are you thinking? Was it true? Did Louis
you know
do
what?
that?
You know when you think, I'm not sure, we need to see it again?
Yes.
Afraid we don't have the time.
Okay.
What's it going to be? Truth or lie?
Bob, what do you think?
Well, when I recorded my first shows I did on telly, my camera had a banana on it, so I knew what camera to look at. So I'm thinking maybe.
You think it might be true? Mel?
I think it's a lie.
OK, it's going to be a lie.
You're going to say lie?
Lie.
I'm worried
Okay.
now. Pressure.
Kian,
Pressure.
truth or lie?
It was, in fact, a lie.
Yes, it was a lie. Louis Walsh didn't tell Westlife when to stand up by waving his banana at them.
When I was a child, the only thing that would get me to sleep was my parents reading me the takeaway menu from our local Chinese restaurant, the Flying Chopstick.
David's team.
At what age was this?
I'd say it kicked off at 7 and probably lasted about a year.
Was it read out in any type of accent?
No. Well, my dad...
When you say any type,
any type
there's one specific one. If they read it in a French accent, it'd be nice. This is quite surreal, isn't it? But I'll go with it.
My dad is half Polish, half Lithuanian, so it had a sort of Eastern European tinge.
Could you give us a kind of a little rendition?
So it'd be something along the lines of...
This will be interesting.
It'd be something
We'll just separate ourselves from the person doing the routine.
You don't want to be in the clip when it comes on the news, do you?
So Dad would say, for example, black bean with chop suey, something like that. Black bean.
Was your dad the fella from Sesame Street? One pork balls. Two lovely pork balls.
You know, lychee for the end of the menu.
Lychee, that's the way I know that. The Flying Chopstick, they just serve a single lychee, don't they?
Lychees. It was the staple. It was the 70s. Things were a little bit sparse then. It was Wilson's, you know, things are hard. I can't remember his speech, but you know the one I mean. Things are terrible.
Wilson's things are hard.
Wilson's things are hard.
Harold Wilson, things are hard.
We've only got lychees. Things are hard. We've only got lychees, guys.
How far into the menu would you drift off?
That's a very good question.
That's why I asked it.
Yeah. My eye would be sort of fully open, like that. A little bit like...
Just one eye open.
One eye open, always looking, always just checking. And then I would say, by the end of the first page, the eye would be down.
So you used to go to sleep half a face at a time?
Can you remember the first time that this happened?
It would have been... I think it was on a Friday night. Mum and Dad would have been entertaining, and I laughed a lot and then fell asleep.
So what do you think, then? David Hay, how is this striking you?
The detail, the fact that she knew straight away what day it was on a Friday night. I don't remember what day it was when you were 7.
Oh, I
can't
did.
remember last week. I get punched in the head for a living, but...
But David, they did it a lot. They did it a lot.
Repetition, eh?
Repetition. So I knew the menu back to front because they had to do it so often.
Well, that's just Chinese. It would be that way, no, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I agree.
Romesh, what are you thinking?
I think it... I don't buy it.
David? Actually, I've got two Davids. We'll call you the Haymaker and the Librarian. What are you thinking, David?
Well, I think I don't believe it.
Do you realise... I like the system you've got there. We're going to call you the Haymaker and the Librarian. So what do you think, David?
I don't think she's at the age of 7.
Yeah.
I think a 7-year-old child will require a coherent story.
All right, so you're saying it's a lie. Well, let's find out. Mel, truth or lie?
The story was, in fact, a lie!
Bill, it's your turn.
Oh, right. OK. It says on my card, possession.
Ah, just to the side there, there's a...
Oh, yes?
Yes.
Just bring that up there.
Pop that up there, and then
Okay.
read the statement before you do anything else.
OK, this is Jakob.
I don't remember those yoghurt drinks making that noise.
OK.
Must be live yoghurt.
This is Jakob. I once smuggled her into the cinema, then had to pretend the noises she was making were coming from me.
OK, now perhaps you could unveil, take the
Yes.
sheet off. Oh, I love cats. Right, Lee's team.
Why on earth would you take Yakult
Jacob. Hang on. Jacob. Jacob, yeah.
Jacob.
It's spelt...
Into a cinema.
Jacob, but pronounced Jacob.
Okay.
I was on tour,
Yeah.
and the bird was on tour with me in the hotel room, and we wanted to go to the cinema. So my wife
Hang on,
and I...
whoa, stop you there. Why was the bird on tour with you?
Yeah, good
well,
question.
because we didn't have anyone to look after her.
She's on tour. That's a bird with a man's name, then, is it?
Oh, sorry, is it a she or a he, the bird?
It's a she.
But why is he called Jacob?
Jacob.
I know, but
Jacob.
Jacob.
Well, no, there was a little bit of a... There was a bit of confusion with the sexing.
Yeah.
at
I had
first.
that with a rabbit once.
Did you?
Yeah.
What, sex? See, well, in the cinema, we put... In the cinema, we put a coat over the case, and we were watching a film, and then in the middle of the film there was some music, and she got quite into the music, so she started whistling to the music.
What was the film?
Entrapment.
That's a bit insensitive to a bird in a cage.
We didn't think of that at the time.
Is that the normal cage that he or she lives in at home?
No,
or does she live
this
in a
is
big
a
one?
travel cage. It's called a Winnebago.
So the bird starts singing along with the music of the film?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. And then what happens?
And then she started to make noises, and then people started to look round, and they looked round and they heard this noise, and then I actually just went, and made a kind of, and then she said, Jacob, like that, and then I had to say that to my wife, I went, Jacob, like that, and I just sort of pass it off like we were having a little conversation.
Was anyone sitting next to you, other than your wife?
There was a lot of people in the cinema,
What
yes.
did they do? What did they say?
They
like,
just thought we were a bit weird.
So how long have you had Yakov? Is it Yakov?
Must be about 10, 15 years now.
And do you have a lot of these animals?
We do, yes.
How many animals do you
We've got about, I don't know, 30 or 40 animals.
40 animals?
30 or 40
Yes.
animals?
Really?
Yeah.
What, like?
Fish.
I don't mean in your
39
freezer. I mean...
Ants. We've got loads of ants. We've got dogs, cat,
You've got a
birds.
cat?
We've got a cat.
With the bird, isn't that a problem?
No, the cat doesn't stay in the house.
What's he doing? Go around the cinemas?
It goes around the Yeah, the cat's got a paper round.
So what are you thinking, Lee?
Well, I mean, the obvious big clue to this is that he seems very close... She seems very close to Bill. See? I've seen Bill do TV shows where he's working with wildlife, so I know he likes the wildlife.
There you go.
So it might be that he's lying, but he knows how to handle that bird.
That's what I think.
Would you be so bold as to give him a kiss on the lips?
I could do.
I want talking to you.
Come here then, kiss a kiss. Come here, kiss a kiss. You're right, a bit shy. She's a bit shy.
I don't want to stir it up, but she was all over David in the green room. So, Joe.
I don't think he'd be that irresponsible.
I'm going to go lie.
OK, my team say lie.
You're all saying it's a lie. OK, Bill.
Okay.
Was that the truth or was it a lie?
It was true.
I know how to properly wash a cow.
David's team.
How do you properly wash a cow?
With water and soap.
Oh.
And determination.
Why do you have to wash a cow?
If they get dirty. Yeah, you need to wash a cow if you're gonna show your cow, like at a county show or something.
All right. What sort of soap would you use for a cow? A typical soap, or was it a special agricultural soap?
Use Fairy liquid.
Just the one brand, just Fairy.
I mean, you could use a citrusy, lemony, fresh one.
I think that would make the milk taste lemony.
Yeah. But the steak would be lovely.
That's true.
That's it. It's always... Because everyone likes a bit of lemon on their steak, don't they?
I'd eat that.
Well, yes, Lee.
Do
you
they?
often marinate a snake.
Yeah, you certainly made me look an idiot there, Rob. I'll give you that.
Watch this.
Messing with you again.
Yeah. Yes, Lee. Because
You said snake. Can't do it again. And every time you say it, I'll shout snake. So why did you have to wash a
You
cow?
marinate a steak in lamb.
Save it for tonight when you're in bed with your wife. I'm just marinating the snake. Why did you have to wash a cow?
Yeah, I washed the cow because my dad's a farmer. And so we would wash the cows and take them to the shows, to like
Arable?
the county shows. No, he's a nice man.
What do you mean arable? I mean, they're cows. How can it be arable?
What does arable mean?
Arable is crops.
Just crops. Oh,
Yeah,
you can
well,
wheat.
Well, have you never heard of
animals?
Duh. Have you never heard of a farmer who has a little bit of arable and a little bit of pastoral?
Well, that would be mixed farming, not arable farming.
Which was going to be my third option.
What breed of cows were they?
They are the brown and white ones.
Don't get too technical.
They're called Herefords.
Oh. What were their names, your cows?
Well, there's a long line of Dianas.
Diana's.
Diana
the cow.
Diana
What
the
would
cow.
you mean by long line?
Well, Diana would have a daughter, and then that'd be another Diana.
And then the initial Diana becomes Steak Diana.
So, David, time to take a guess. What do you think?
Nick?
I'm suspicious.
You think it's a lie?
What a plausible lie.
I think it's a lie.
If you both think it's a lie...
I'm afraid so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go lie.
You're going to say lie. OK, Sarah, truth or lie?
It's true.
Yes. Yes, it's true. Sarah does know how to wash a cow.
Because I can never remember the phonetic alphabet, I have invented one of my own, based on things I can see from my bedroom window. Now, I never forget it.
Now, in case there are people watching, perhaps, who don't know what the phonetic alphabet is...
Can I just say, I'm one of them?
It's, you know, it's kind of Alpha, Bravo, Charlie...
Why is that called the phonetic alphabet? There's nothing phonetic about it.
Just do us a favour, lads, keep discussing it, gives me more thinking time.
So, Lee...
Yes?
Take us through it.
Well, where would you like me to start? A for apple tree. And to the point where I will do this on the phone when they say, what's your postcode? I will
Really?
use these.
Well,
things.
carry on.
B, this is the one that can get confusing. B for bird, because obviously the bird isn't always there, but you can always hear or sense a bird. So B for bird.
Yeah.
You can always
C for
sense
cat.
a bird.
C for cat, there's always a cat. I think I know why there's no birds. D, think I know where I'm going with this. I'm surprised the cat's still there. I really am.
Do you sometimes find there's no C when there's a D?
Often I can say D, there'll definitely be no C and B ever. You know.
We don't need it all. What's H?
H will be for hospital.
What's V?
V is for a word I'm not allowed to say on national television. But all I will say is the next door neighbour, she likes to sunbathe naked. Unless, this is a weird one, can't do C and V at the same time because she's got an allergy to cats.
R.
Oh, no, it's a shame, innit?
R.
Oh, I see.
What's the name of the hospital?
What?
What?
H. You said H for hospital.
All I can see is the A and E sign, or as I call it, Apple Tree and Edna. Take me to Apple Tree and Edna.
So you don't know the name of your
not
nearest
interested.
hospital?
Not interested. I don't need to know the name of it.
I'm afraid at that point, and only at that point, I cease to believe you. What otherwise seemed like
I
an
don't know the name
excellent
of it, but I
system.
can certainly spell hospital for you. H for Harry. Edna.
For hospital! For hospital! You said it's for hospital!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That was it. Even though I say so myself, that was a bad mistake.
So what are your team thinking?
I don't believe it at all. At all.
What about you, Nick?
I think that he does do this, and he's made it a nice, lovely story to throw us. But I think that Lee actually does, when he can't think of the real-life ones, will say Edna.
Just to be clear, perhaps the most fascinating moment of the whole evening, Nick, you think that's true?
It's true.
OK, it's time to decide.
A lie.
Lie. OK, you say it's a lie. Well, here we go. Lee, is it true or is it a lie?
You have to actually ask.
I have developed a technique to help me deal with annoying idiots.
Lee, do you want to kick this one off?
Well, first of all, who do you find is an annoying idiot? I mean, what type of people?
Just, you know, the GP. You know, the general public wind me up from time to time.
OK.
And I really want to tell them how I feel. And instead of doing that, I scat.
You do what?
Whoops. I scat.
Can I ask at this point, what is a scat? Do you know what a scat is?
Well, it's like a jazz, the old jazz scat.
It's your basic jazz rap.
So you must make random noises. Can we have a scenario now? Right? Is it a
That's a very negative view of music,
isn't it?
Lee?
Yeah. It's jazz, though.
Fair enough.
So if I'm the doctor, what would annoy you if I was a doctor?
If you kept me waiting for too long, and then say you come into the reception room and I thought I was next,
right?
And I went to get up, and then you picked somebody else,
right?
For example.
Okay. Well, imagine that scenario. Okay. So I walk in. You think I'm going to see, and I go, Mr. Bryden, we've got the results of your test.
And I go, oh, for the when you're in the finish,
pow! It's an STD.
Do you promise me, Mike, you always do it out loud? You don't just do it in your mind?
Always vocalise it. Otherwise, if I don't let it out, it might turn into a hemorrhoid.
I must say, that explains a lot.
Well, imagine I've made you angry, OK?
Perhaps he's giving you an STD.
At least have the decency to say I've given it to him via his wife.
Watch him now. Go on, jazz scatting, quick.
I'm gonna
Sababla boop bop, sababla boop 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 ba.
This is really weird.
When was the last time you had to employ it, Michael?
Oh, I'd say, about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah?
What happened?
The classic thing of the, you know, the tourist walking out of the department store and stopping, and I wasn't paying attention, and I walked up and they were there in front of me, and I went, why did you... and walked round and carried on walking.
What are you thinking, Diane? Does this have the ring of truth for you?
Yeah, it does. He seems really convincing. What do you think?
I don't know. Why are you getting so upset in the first place? Why don't you just be like me and just really lay back?
Just get outside the department store and just stop and enjoy life.
When I've ever left a department store, I'm always sprinting.
It's very bizarre behaviour. If you encountered it, you know? You can't spend your life doing that.
So, what are you going to say?
So we're going to say, you'll say true, you're going to say lie. Yep. I'm going to have to go lie. Can't be true.
You're going to say it's a lie. OK, Michael Smiley, was it the truth or was it a lie?
Oh, ye have little faith. It is the truth.
I can tell if someone is left or right-handed just by looking at their ears.
David's team.
Just by looking at their ears.
Sorry, I didn't... What people don't realise is that the most common twitch is this. You don't realise you're doing it, but over the course of a lifetime, that will just slightly...
Are you saying then that if I'm right-handed, I will tug on my ear as a little sort of nervous tick so much that either...
Not
what
so
will happen?
much.
My ear will move down the head? Or is it just...
To a layman...
Or is it just a lobe and elongate?
Rod, to a layman, no, you wouldn't spot it. But for a professional, you know it.
Well, I'm studying your ears.
Wow.
And on
Please
your
do.
theory,
Yeah.
you're left-handed because your left ear is definitely
No, 'cause I
longer
was
than
doing
your
that.
right.
I
Isn't
was
his
doing
left
that.
ear longer than his right? So what are you, left or right-handed?
Left.
It's funny you should say that, because I think your right lobe is larger than your left.
I'm ambidextrous.
What am I, then?
You're Carol Vorderman.
Am I left or am I right?
Well, you're an interesting one. You're right-handed.
I am, yeah.
Because you're showing your ear so much, because you're so used to tugging it, you've got it ready now to tug.
What about David, Lee?
Which am I?
Well, I can't do...
I'm finding this quite a stressful moment.
I can't do it whilst you're holding these. I have to have a look. You keep your head
I've
still.
got tiny ears.
You have?
But I only grew arms when I was 9. Maybe that's
Yeah, classic right hand.
Yes, I'm right-handed.
Gosh, he's good, isn't he?
So looking at my ears...
You're a textbook right-hander. Textbook.
Really?
Yeah, textbook.
I'm not, though.
You are?
I'm not, I'm left-handed.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about when you're using a textbook.
My ears are so flat to my head, you can't tell, can you? My ears...
You've got any ears. I genuinely can't see your ears. Look into the camera. You've got no ears. That's bizarre.
So what do you think, David?
Well, personally, I think it's true, but I'll just check with my team.
Lie.
You think it's a lie?
Right.
You think it's a lie? Well, as I say, I think it's true.
You think it's true?
No, of course I don't! I don't think it's true, and neither do my team, so we'll say lie.
It's a lie. OK. Lee, truth or lie?
Of course it's a lie.
I was once forced to continually ballroom dance while presenting 5 minutes of live TV.
Lee.
What was the programme?
The programme was Edinburgh Nights. It was a little while ago.
How long ago?
It was...
Is it written on the ceiling?
It was...
Does that say true or a lie?
Yeah, I'm looking for it as well.
It was 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Do you remember which dance did you perform?
I performed the tango.
And who was your partner?
He was the world champion tangoist.
Tangoist?
Was he like a giant orange guy who came and sang?
I've been tangoed! Was it Craig Revel Horwood?
As far as I remember, it was somebody that was handsome.
Oh, he wasn't in there.
Oh, well.
He was a professional ballroom dancer.
Was it Argentinian tango or classic tango?
Or diet tango?
Or diet.
What's the difference?
Well, one is very improvised, the other is very stiff.
Which is the stiff one?
They call it the ballroom tango.
The
one where
Argentinian
you have to do a lot of flick.
I like that one.
It was that one.
Oh, it was that one?
It was that one. That one where you...
Yes, so the heads.
Am I alone in feeling an electric sexual chemistry?
connection. Why did you have to do 5 minutes tango live on TV?
Because there was a film out.
What was the film?
The film was
Godzilla.
Strictly Ballroom.
I remember it very well.
Oh, Strictly Ballroom.
I was talking about the film.
Ah.
At the same time as you were dancing?
Yes.
Did you do the thing at the end? This is Kirsty Walk, dancing, news, whatever you say. Whatever they say.
It wasn't the news, though,
Oh,
so that would have been inappropriate at the end of a programme. It's like at the end of this, Rob doesn't go, and that was the news.
I watched that Edinburgh Night. I watched it.
You watched that one?
Not that one, but I watched it over the years,
Yes.
and usually they're really intense. They're always sitting down. It's too light entertainment for that kind of show.
OK, so Lee, he thinks it's a lie.
OK.
I think it's true.
Oh, a split decision, I hate that.
Kirsty, tangoing while presenting to camera. Truth or lie?
True.
I once had to give Alan Hansen a piggyback across a muddy car park because he didn't want to ruin his new suede shoes.
Please, T.
Who is Alan Hansen?
He was.
Are you serious, by the way?
No.
Oh, OK.
No, I think he's the handsome Thunderbirdy one.
That's right, yeah.
Where was this?
Old Trafford.
That was the muddy field?
No, the car park outside of Old Trafford.
Oh, it was the car park of Old
It was
Trafford.
a very wet, typical kind of northwest day. And
Let's not be northernist.
The car park was actually flooded in some areas and quite wet. And we'd had an evening match. It was an FA Cup replay, and he was joking about his shoes, and I, for a laugh, said, "Just jump on."
And how
I'd
far...
always wanted... How do you think I got to host match of the day?
How far did you take it? Him?
It wasn't far. We'd just come out where the studio is, and it was probably from here to that camera over there. Mark Lawrenson said, "Oh, don't worry, Gabby will give you a lift." And I said, "I will. I'm strong."
So Mark Lawrenson suggested it to Alan Hansen.
No, because...
Jump on her back.
Who is Mark Lawrenson?
Al said... Oh, hang on a second. Al said...
Please don't start impressions, because he will start. That's all I ask for you tonight. Please tell me Ronnie Corbett wasn't
Is it
there.
all right if I jump on your back, Gabby?
Is that Mark Lawrenson or Alan
That's Alan
Hansen?
Hansen.
And Mark Lawrenson went, "Hey, go on, jump on her back." And you feel like you were there, don't you? You feel like you were there.
If you're going to come on your John Hyson, you've got to be absolutely sure you're John Hyson for it. You have to get in front of your legs, or move to you can't say what you see. It doesn't matter there. You've got to come from the back and get up front.
2 words for you. Duncan Bannatyne. That's it. Alan Hansen is that is woeful defending.
What?
Woeful defending.
What are you doing now? That's Harry Seacombe.
So, I still want to focus on the details.
OK.
Has Hansen in any way given you any warning, or has he just lunged
To
and
be fair,
jumped?
he did. He kind of went, "Oh, she wouldn't be able to carry me," and that was a red rag to a bull. I just went, "Yes, I will."
No, that sounds awful.
I don't know. I get used to those kinds of requests at work, you know.
So what do you think? Could she have done this?
Well, I mean, I'm still not entirely sure who Alan Hansen is. I've got very confused with all these different impressions because they're all quite different.
Well, there's just technically Duncan Bannatyne. You always go like, "Oh, yeah, I do this one of us, doing it anyway. I'm out."
So what are you going to say?
I wish Alan Hansen had a catchphrase. That would have helped me.
He did. You'll never win it with kids.
You'll never wear anything with kids.
You'll never win anything with kids.
That's a phrase you don't want to be taken out of context.
He was referring to Manchester United, who,
Oh, right.
who
Who
had
had
very young...
children playing for them.
All right, what's it going to be?
I'm sure it's true.
You think it's true?
I don't think it's true. Sorry. I just have this feeling deep inside that Alan Hansen and Mark Lawrenson don't speak to Gabby.
I know what you mean. I've been swayed now.
Since I don't know who any of these people are, maybe you should go with Bob.
OK. Bob will take leadership.
OK.
And responsibility. As we say, it is a lie.
So, Gabby, truth or lie?
It is a lie.
Oh.
This is the cushion that I used to carry my pet owl around on. I would have brought the owl, but he escaped last week.
David's team, what do you think?
What kind of an owl was it?
Oh, yeah.
Tawny.
Yeah. Tawny's perch on branches.
Yeah.
So how did you get it to perch on a big, flat, soft cushion?
Oh, Steve, it's so good to have you here.
How did I? Is there a problem here, Steve? Here are the talon marks. I have a rare breeds farm near me, and they had to get rid of a tawny owl that was injured. It couldn't use its wings, and I shouldn't use the words, it couldn't use its bottom.
For what?
For doing what? For poo-pooing.
What did it use?
So, as a trustee of the organisation, because it's just down the road from me, in Warehorn, I agreed to have... I agreed that I would look after it. It actually had what you would call a colostomy bag.
we call it a colostomy bag.
Have I said it?
Yeah, we wouldn't have picked it up, but you did specifically say that's what we would have called it. And I thought I'd better address this because we really wouldn't.
Steve, is an owl's colostomy bag called a colostomy bag?
Yes, it is. You wouldn't really need it because the majority of kind of solid fecal matter with an owl comes out of its mouth.
Yeah. No, we're dealing with a very sick owl. No, I'm sorry, I sound aggressive there, but I can see... No, he's escaped now, and I can see his little face. We were given a pipette with what was owl nourishment.
So you had to feed it
with a
pipette?
Yes.
And how did it stand on the cushion if, as Steve says, it needs a perch?
It
was fine, just so...
I've clearly not made it clear. This is an incredibly sick bird. You can't judge it by the normal tone. This is just a lump of meat and feathers. There's just hanging on in there.
But the thing still escapes.
Yes, it escapes. Actually, I suspect it was killed by my cats.
Why did this owl sanctuary, when it has a sick owl, why didn't it look after the owl itself rather than give it to a local celebrity?
Because I'm
the cushion and cats.
I'm very closely associated with it.
Sorry, my client would like a minute.
You had clearly said to them you were going to nurse it back to health?
No, that was never going to happen.
It's palliative care.
No, it's palliative care.
Palliative care.
It was
palliative care for the owl.
A hospice for the owl, yeah.
For the owl. Right.
And we had some decent times.
Did he have a name, this owl?
We called it...
Did you? You called it...
It's all right, you're upset, Bob, I can tell. If you need a minute, it's OK. But what did you call it?
Sorry?
What did you call it?
What did we call the owl?
Yeah.
Well, we called him Mavis.
Bob, what did you feed it with the pipette?
It was described to me as owl nourishment. Everything.
You just take bowls and put them in a liquidizer.
Steve, I can't impress on you. The most you got out of it. It's just a lift and lid.
It wasn't perched then, it was reclined on the cushion. That was its... That was its deathbed.
Yeah. We'd have like a broomstick or something and just hold it.
And what have you told the owl sanctuary? What have you told them? Because they must have been upset.
No, I've told them he's passed away, yeah.
And they said, well, that's fine. We knew Mavis was going to die soon. That's why we gave him or her to you, a comedian who lives locally, to keep on a cushion in the same room as some cats.
So my client would like to change his plea.
This isn't sounding...
You're a trustee, did you say, of this charity?
Yes, it's the Rare Breeds Farm in Warehorn. Does family days. Sadly, I haven't got an owl at the moment. But...
So, David, what are you thinking? Is this true?
No, this isn't true.
I think you made all that up.
I just don't believe they would let him bring a dying, tawny owl home.
No, I don't think so. I think we're saying it's a lie.
I think you are.
But and I think that's the Rare Breed Centre probably needs to look at its working practices if it happens to be true. But
OK, Bob, truth or lie?
I was telling a lie.
Last summer, I lost a tennis match when a bee buzzed up the leg of my shorts at a crucial moment.
Please, team.
Right.
What was the crucial moment?
Match point.
What was the score at that point in sets?
I'll be honest, we only played one set.
And what was the scoring games at that point?
At that point?
Yes.
The scoring game.
I think you know what I'm asking you, David.
Was 5-4.
To you.
3-2-1, I'm going to tell you. It was 5-4.
To you.
No, I lost.
Oh, I see, a crucial point.
Right, so, did this bee sting you, or did he come in, have a quick shufty and exit?
A Shuftian exit.
Well,
So,
did he exit out the other leg?
Or was anything blocking his passage?
Do you play regularly?
I don't really know. I used to play more regularly, but
What
now I play...
standard would you say you are? If 0 is someone that's never played in it ever, and 10 is Boris Becker, what are you?
What's 1?
Tim Henman.
Well, in this case, I'm probably a 0.3.
Would you give us a demonstration of your serve technique?
Oh, yes.
It'd be lovely, I think, for Lee and his team. If they had an idea, they look at this serve, they say, well, there's a guy who wouldn't be bamboozled by a bumble, or maybe he would.
I have to say, I think this is totally pointless. I'll do it.
I like a man who joins in with the fun.
I'm so sorry. This is just a waste of your time. This is it. This is the racket in my right hand.
David, why don't?
So sorry. Rob. OK, caught it. Ready?
Yeah, you're not going to fire it at me, are you?
I'll
aim it over there.
I'll zing it down that way.
Please do, yeah.
OK?
That's barely going to go over the net.
You don't believe I serve like that?
No.
I want to see your feet off the ground and put something... I want to see you grunting.
Oh, hang on, wait a minute. What a ball, have you?
You went over there. All right, ready?
Right, go on then.
I'm gonna grunt.
Go for it.
I'm gonna put my back into this.
Go on then.
I'm gonna show I want it.
You're doing that with your hands, you're trying to get rid of the bees.
Yeah. I'm bouncing the ball.
That's how you congratulating a small child. Well done, son. You did very well.
OK, and... Oh!
That was lovely, thank you. That was lovely. That was more than we could ever have hoped. Thank you. What do you think?
He doesn't look like a tennis player.
He probably has picked up a tennis racket. I don't think he's claiming to be at county level.
He doesn't look like he would be at any level.
No, but he's...
I think that's a lie.
You think it's a lie?
Yeah.
Rick?
I think it's a lie, because he would... Maybe a bee flew up his shorts when he was having ice cream, but he definitely...
That's the most belittling thing I've ever heard on this show. OK, we're saying it's a lie.
OK, David. Was that the truth, or was it a lie?
It was a lie.
The first time I used eBay, I accidentally bought a canoe instead of a handbag.
David's team.
Well, how did that error occur?
Well, back in the day, when eBay was pretty new, I thought I'd have a little go. And I quite like vintagey stuff and old clothes, although when they delivered, it's not quite as good because they always smell a bit musty and have an air of dead people. But I like the idea. And...
Did you get that from eBay? Was that you? Sorry, carry on.
So I was scrolling through, as you do, and saw a lovely clutch bag. I know I've lost you all already, haven't I? A clutch bag. A clutch bag is a little bag.
For
that
keeping the
clutch.
pedal from a car in. You have an accelerator bag and a brake bag.
So what are we saying, Alex? You saw a clutch bag, you were miming putting the clutch bag under your arm to get into it, and then you pressed canoe by accident.
In fact, in the modern computers, they've taken the canoe button off the keyboard because this kept happening.
OK, you're looking at eBay. What
I'm
happens
scrolling
next?
through.
Right.
It started off at 99p. 99 pence, John. Are you in?
For a vintage bag?
Yeah. You're in. Anyway. Next thing you know, £14. I'm thinking about pulling out.
Yeah.
Because that's quite a lot. for a vintage bag. But anyway, on it went.
Yeah.
£32.
And you're still bidding?
You still in, John?
No, I wasn't even in when it was 99. You were wrong about that. You read me wrong there, Alex. I don't know what my body language is telling me.
OK, so the price is going up. You're tracking, that's what they call it.
£32.
You're tracking the bag.
And I think it's a good time to go to bed.
Yeah.
Leave it. Next morning.
Yeah.
Email on the laptop. Congratulations, your bid was successful. You have bought a second-hand red canoe.
It's quite a jump, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think that's a terrible story? There's some fella whose boat was going down. He says, don't worry, I've got this covered. Tried to squeeze a family of 5 into a vintage handbag.
So you emailed the canoe man saying, instead of the canoe, could I have the
clutch bag.
handbag that looks like
And he said, I haven't got a clutch handbag to offer.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you've lied, because I bid on a clutch handbag.
Oh, so do you think he was luring people in by putting photographs of vintage handbags, which people then bid on and bid on, bid on, whatever they pay, whatever the handbag looks like, they only get a canoe.
Maybe 7 times out of 10, people make do with the canoe. It must have looked into it.
Have you ever seen at the opening night of a film a glamorous starlet turning up with what the commentators are saying is an incredibly large clutch bag? OK, what are you thinking, David?
I think I don't know. What do you think?
There's too much of a gap.
Do you think it's true?
No, I think it's a lie.
I think it's a lie.
We think it's a lie.
You all think it's
We
a
think
lie.
it's a lie.
Conclusively a lie.
Yeah. Conclusively a lie.
OK, Alex, truth or lie?
Silly boys, it was, in fact, true.
Well,
I once dumped a boyfriend because I didn't like the way he fell down the stairs.
David's team.
How often had you been pushing him down the stairs?
I just hid his wheelchair.
If you've been affected by any of the issues raised in tonight's show...
How did he fall down the stairs? What was
Very ungainly.
What kind of stairs did he fall down? Where was he?
It was just outside his flat, and there was, like, 5 steps, and then another 5 steps. Well, you know, those ones that go sort of in different directions.
Concrete steps?
Yeah, concrete.
So this is nasty. This isn't...
It was a nasty fall, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you finish with him because he was so badly injured he was no use to you?
This was sort of like the last straw, really.
What was the other straws?
There were so many straws.
Tell me one.
He used to fall out of cupboards.
He was quite mean. He was quite a mean person.
Can you walk us through the scenario? What happened?
OK, so we're leaving his flat. He locks the door. He loses his footing on the steps, makes a little scream, and he just fell.
How many stairs did he go down? Because the way you've described it, there were corners. Did he go round the corners?
He's a man, not a slinky.
No, he did. He did.
So how did you react? Did your compassionate side come out?
Well, I asked him if he was all right, and then I sort of made a mental note to cut him out of my life.
So what are you going to say, Nadia? Does it ring true for you?
Did you want to leave him before the fall?
I've been thinking about it.
Yeah, because it was the last straw.
It was the last straw, yeah.
But she only offered up 1 straw. If I had a resentment against an ex-lover, right, I could give you a short list off the top of my head.
Even that was a bit scatty. Waking up and seeing him in bed with the milkman.
I think it might be true.
Say
We're
true.
going to go with true.
Say true. Diane, truth or lie?
It is actually true.
Wow. It's true. Diane did dump a boyfriend because of the way he fell down the stairs.
One Saturday morning, I lay on my back in the garden and pretended I'd fallen off a ladder so that I could get out of a family trip to IKEA.
David's team.
What had you been supposedly doing on the ladder?
to fall off it.
So, my wife said we're going to IKEA, and then you should be upset if I said no. So I said, yeah, no problems. Can we go in about an hour? She went, yeah, no problems. Why? And I said, because I've got to do something in the garden.
Yeah, what were you doing?
Trimming the tree.
So you said, OK, we can go to IKEA in an hour. I've just got to go and trim the tree.
I didn't say I'm going to trim the tree, obviously. I said I've just got something to do in the garden.
Why is it so urgent that this tree needed to be trimmed?
You're not following this story, are you, Sean? I didn't need to trim the tree.
Yeah, but surely wouldn't she go, we'll do it later?
Because it was a casual conversation. We're going to IKEA. Can we go in about an hour? I've just got to do something in the garden. She went, yeah, that's fine. And that was it. Right. We don't live in a relationship where I go, can we go to IKEA? I go, can we go now? I'm doing something in the garden. She doesn't sit me down, put a spotlight on me, and go, just a sing in the garden.
OK.
But you did Toppery last week!
So you say you've got to do something in the garden. She says, fine. So you walk out into the garden.
Yes.
Explain how you set the scene.
I go to the shed, right?
Yeah.
I pick my tool wisely because I want to make sure that when I've fallen with it, that it looks dramatic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So what did you
pick?
pick?
Secateurs, nothing. Those big giant ones. You know which one I mean? They look like those old-fashioned bull workers, but they've got a pair of scissors at the end.
With a telescopic handles.
That's one. I still needed a ladder. They're not going to get me on that.
Do you climb to the top of this ladder?
I don't need to, do I? There's no trimming to be done.
I
mean, are you fucking... Anyone else? There's no... I'm not Robert De Niro. I'm not Method. I didn't have to go... I must become the tree trimmer.
Your wife must think you're pretty bad at it if you can go out and presumably instantly fall off the ladder.
I didn't say I fell off instant. I know she's going off to do something else. She says I'm going to the shops then. So I know she's out. So I position everything.
So she says in advance of going to this shop, she's going to the shop.
No. It's an expression that people say I'm just popping to the shops. They don't go, I pop into the individual shop.
It's not an expression. It means going to the shop.
No, it doesn't.
Well, is it a euphemism in your house for what? Having a poo?
I pop into the shop. You're going to get me on one letter. All right, I pop into the shop.
So she said she was popping to the shop now. Shop singular in advance of your trip to the shop.
She might have said shop. It's one letter. Give me a break. It's series 9. She may have said shop.
Can I ask
or shops. I'm just popping out. In fact, she said out. I'm popping out.
She's popping.
She was popping out.
So. OK, so she has left the house.
She's left the house.
So
She's gone to the shop. To buy a curly whirly or curly whirlies. I'm not sure. She's gone out. I know she's going to be gone enough time for me to get a ladder, lie it on its side, do the secateur, and lie there in a position that I would describe as
Can I ask
injured.
this question? Why didn't you want to go to IKEA?
I think I go to IKEA to get out of trimming a tree.
I didn't need to trim the tree!
So your wife comes back from the shop before going to the shop, for whatever reason.
And we find that, weirdly, that the different shops sell different things.
Okay.
So I have tried the old, when she goes, I'm just going to buy some potatoes, I've gone, why don't we wait till we're in IKEA? And she said, no, you can't buy. It turns out that different shops sell different things.
So your wife comes back from the potato shop to
No, it's not called the potato shop.
You've finished trimming the tree and fallen off a ladder.
Yes.
How much of the tree did you get done?
Did you claim specific injuries that you'd done? When you
Yes.
said, oh, I've just generally hurt us, what? What had you done? What did you say it hurt?
I went, ah! My leg! She went, what's up with it? I said, I don't know, but I can't go to IKEA. And I claim to have injured my coccyx.
How long had she been gone?
It was probably 4 or 5 days this time. I'd say probably about 15 to 20 minutes.
Did she still go to IKEA?
Yeah, no, what did she do then? You're there in agony.
She came to help me.
She helped you up?
She helped me up. She tried to get me stood up. I held the base of my back. Is that what the coccyx is?
Yeah.
I held the base of my back. And she said, you better come inside and sit yourself down. I said, but what about the trip to IKEA? I feel I've let you down. She said, no, that was years ago. I think the bit where I was pushing it, when I shouted, love, can you put that ladder away? I don't want it to go rusty. I don't want it to go rusty. I might need that in a couple of weeks when we go to Boots.
So what do you think, David? Is this true?
What do you think?
I think it's a lie.
I just think you'd save that for something a bit more...
You think it's a waste?
Well, yeah, it's a waste of an opportunity to get out something.
love the fact that your
family
dad's-
Christmas. You could get out of a whole Christmas.
So what are you going to say?
I think we think it's a lie.
You're saying it's a lie. Lee, truth or lie?
It's a lie.
It's a lie.
I once called a friend in New York and asked her to call the police in London because I thought there was a burglar at my house in London.
Lee.
Where were you when you made the call?
In the house.
Why didn't you phone...
The police?
Yes.
Because I'd been messaging my friend. I felt like she'd gone, so I called her, and as I was on the phone to her, I thought there was someone breaking into the house. So I was like, you should phone the police.
What did you hear exactly?
I just heard, like, irregular noises from downstairs.
Irregular
Footsteps,
noises?
Doors closing, so I was like, well, who's that?
And were you living on your own at the time?
I did have a housemate.
And did you not think it might be that person?
No.
Why?
Because at the time, I was doing a nighttime radio show. So I would get home late, and she'd always, like, be quiet when you get in at 1 o'clock in the morning, because I'm asleep.
Ah, so you assumed her to be asleep?
Yeah.
Why don't you put the phone down and phone the police?
Because I didn't want to speak in case the burglar...
But you are speaking, you're telling her to phone the police.
Well, I was like, I need to go. I think there's someone here. Call the police. So that's why I had to get off the phone and not use the phone.
Well, look, Nick. Let's reenact it.
OK.
I'm going to be your friend.
OK.
In New York. She's an American.
She is.
Thank God. I thought you were going to say, by coincidence, she sounds like Ronnie Corbett.
Yeah, no. She's a very sassy Jewish lady.
All right. Yeah. Now, Nick, how are things going over there? Did you say she didn't sound like Ronnie Corbett?
No, she's the opposite to Ronnie Corbett.
Oh, she's
But
a kind of... She's like New York Jewish kind of person like that.
Pretty spot on.
OMG! So listen, you finished your radio show. How did it go?
I love your impressions, you know that. But you're texting, we don't need the voice.
Oh, he wants me to call him. Sure, I will.
Hi, Amy. How's America?
Oh, I love it. There's so many Americans here. Hey, what's that noise in the
what is that
background?
noise? Oh.
I heard something.
I can hear something downstairs.
Oh, you were having trouble with your stomach again?
No, like downstairs. It's something like downstairs in the house downstairs. I'll pretend to be asleep. You call the police.
What, the NYPD?
No. My police.
All right, I'll call.
OK.
Love you.
So I put the phone down, and then I just go like this. And then fear for my life.
Well, hold on, because it's all happening stateside. Well, I mean, we can go on like this all night.
So then what happened? So go on, talk us through the rest of the story.
So then she makes the call.
Yeah.
So that's like, call the police, because there's not the 999 number, there's like the police round the corner, you know, the local police.
She went and logged on and looked for your local police station.
Yeah.
Why didn't
you
you
don't
phone...
have to log on.
Why
there's
didn't you phone
internet on
999? Listen, Sunbeam, you do on my Atari.
So she called the police.
Yeah.
And then it turned out that it wasn't an intruder at all.
How did you find that out?
I found that out when my flatmate burst in.
What's she bursting into your room for at night?
Because she had been on the wine. So the bang, bang, bang noises were her, like, looking for wine or something, I don't know.
And you said what?
I said, oh, my God.
Hypocrite.
I said I thought I was going to be killed by the intruder. The police are coming. So then we were like, well, we need to call the police now.
So you phoned me back in New York. Go on.
No, I didn't phone you.
You want me to cancel them? They're on their way, honey.
I just went direct. Tell them.
Yo, so when you want me, I'm right here waiting. But when you don't want me, you just drop me. Well, screw you, Grimshaw.
I'm not surprised Amy doesn't have any friends where she lives.
What are you thinking, Lee?
What do we think, Rob?
I believe it. I believe this man. I've been taken for a ride. I like it.
You're starting to sound more and more like Amy every day.
So what are you thinking, Claire?
I believe it.
Well, I think it must be true, then.
True, OK. Nick, truth or lie?
It is true.
Yes, it's true. Mick did ring his friend in New York and ask her to call the police for him. It's John.
OK. I once saw a 6-foot goldfish in the jungles of South America.
Please, team.
Were you working?
I was working.
What were you doing?
I was filming this village, this tribe, and they made me drink the hallucinogenic drug.
Are you telling us now that you imagined you saw a 6-foot goldfish?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Well, I don't think I imagined it. I mean, he spoke to me. It can't have been that. And he had
What did he say?
He said, "How's it going, man?"
And what did you say?
Well, I didn't say very much because it isn't very often that a 6-foot goldfish with a straw hat speaks to you. You know, it's a rarity, isn't it? I mean, I think you'd agree.
Oh, definitely.
It doesn't happen every day, does it?
He had a straw hat on.
He had a straw hat.
And what did you have?
Well, this is hallucinogenic drug they drink.
Yes.
And I thought I could take a little sip, you know, and say, "Oh, yes, how nice, thank you very much. You know, perhaps I'll drink the rest later or something." And the whole village crowded round to watch me drink it. And so
Are you sure they were there, John?
Of course they were there. I'd crowd around too if I was going to watch an old white man get off his face for the first time ever.
And at first, nothing happened. And I was a little bit disappointed. And then the moon, there was a full moon, and it kind of came down on a spring right in my face. And the trees started talking to one another. Have I still got you with me? And
back to you in the studio. John Simpson, off my face, Afghanistan.
All right, so what are you thinking?
I think he probably is telling the truth.
I think it's a lie.
OK, I say it's a lie too.
OK, they're saying it's a lie. John, truth or lie?
Well, it's true.
A quick technique I often use to determine if someone has singing potential is to get them to sing Bar Bar Black Sheep as if they are frightened.
David.
Is it? As if they are frightened?
Yes.
And what is it about that tells you anything?
It's to determine whether they can perform.
But
Not just to sing, but whether they can take it to the
look
next level.
terrified while singing, because that's the key skill needed in a choir.
No, it's more about them. You know, it might be that I want them to get under the skin of a piece of music that I'm going to do later. So I want to see whether they've got what it takes emotionally to connect with the song, even if it is Bar Bar Black Sheep.
Is that one of your favourites, Bar Bar Black Sheep?
Well, it's a very good tune.
Well, look, the talk is cheap. Let's see some of that, and I use this phrase advisedly, Malone magic in action.
Greg, could you sing Bar Bar Black Sheep as if you were frightened, please?
Fine, I'm an incredibly versatile actor. Let's go.
Frightened? Frightened.
OK.
Oh.
Black sheep, have you anyone? Science.
Yes, sir.
3 bags full.
Are you being Barry, Robin, or Morris? Can't tell.
I think we've established that he's got potential, and the important thing is...
Give me another emotion, Gareth.
No, well, that's...
Yeah, I know, but give me another one. Just...
Well, all right. Sexual joy.
Hang on a minute. Have you
Can I do the frightened one?
Oh, you want to do that?
I don't get to look someone in the eye very often.
You know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see, is there anybody here, do you think, who perhaps doesn't like singing, who might be sat in between... He might be in between his teammates now thinking, oh, I do hope they don't come to me. Is there anyone?
Why don't we ask David to...
OK, all right.
Could you perhaps sing Baba Black Sheep?
Baba Black Sheep, like I'm very frightened.
Go on, David.
OK. Baba Black Sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, yes, sir. 3 bags full.
You know that Gareth didn't want you to sing Baba Black Sheep as if you were a sheep, don't you?
But what do you ascertain from what he's just done?
Well, I mean, he can sing in tune and... in the broadest sense. Yeah, and making people feel comfortable and, let's not start with the Mozart Requiem. Let's start with Baba Black Sheep as if frightened.
So, what are you thinking of this claim of Gareth's? I think it's true.
Also, you have got to have a thing, if you're auditioning lots of people, you can't think about it with each one. You've got to have a thing you ask everyone to do.
Yeah.
So I think we think
I think we're saying it's true.
I think it's true. OK, Gareth Malone, truth or lie?
It is... a
lie!
I used to have a job in a safari park gift shop and regularly shared my bed with a lion cub.
Lee Mack's team.
What year was this? Or what rough year? I don't need the exact year.
Is that your opening question, Lee? What year was this? I don't need the exact year.
Well, I didn't want to embarrass Karen in case you said, it was when I was 18 in 1642. I'm just saying, give me the decade.
It was in the mid-70s.
So mid-70s, and you worked in a safari park?
I worked in a safari park gift shop.
Which safari park?
Windsor. Yeah, I lived in the safari park at the time. I lived in the safari park at the time with my sister.
But how could you live in it?
And she's human.
She had a house in the safari park.
Is it because she was connected with the safari park?
Yes,
Did they build round her? Did she buy it when it was just in a field? And then one morning she was lying there and she heard this.
She lived in the safari park with her husband,
who
worked with the animals.
Has he got a name, the husband?
Francis.
Right.
He would bring home the little babies who'd been rejected by their mothers.
Don't, you're going to make me go.
So I went there one summer and there was a penguin in the bath and a lion cub in my bed. So I slept with a lion cub for the summer.
Carol, nothing happened, did it?
It did. No, it did.
Oh, God.
No, it only happened when my mum came down from Wales. And she walked into the bedroom and screamed.
I bet she
did. She saw me in bed with a lion cub.
How big is the cub? Are we talking, like, very young? Or?
Well, when I got there, it was that big.
Oh, yeah. It was that big by the time she'd finished. Did you sleep with any other animals while you were there? No, it's a genuine question.
No, I had a bath with a penguin.
You didn't?
Obviously. Was he in the bath and you got in unsolicited, or...?
No, he was in the bath.
He was already
in
there.
cold water.
Right.
So I had to get the penguin out of the cold water. And
Did you pick up that penguin?
So what are you thinking, Lee?
I don't know. What do we think?
I think it could be true.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous, but she's so convincing.
When you say...
I wish she was on our team.
You're not...
Sorry,
So, Lee, what's it going to be? Truth or a lie?
You're saying...
it's true.
True. You're saying...
Oh, I'll go true. I'm malleable. Yeah, true.
You're saying true?
Yeah, true.
OK. Carol Vorderman. Lion cub in the bed. Truth or lie?
True.
Oh, wow. Yes, it's true. Carol did used to share her bed with a lion cub.